Hello, learners. How are you all? Happy to meet you all again in the Early Childhood Care and Education course of B.Ed Special Education. So, in the previous class, we have started the course called Early Childhood Care and Education, and we have started learning the unit number 1 and the subunit 1.1, that is facts about early childhood learning and development. Let us recall what we have learned in the previous class, then we will proceed to the next points of this program. Okay, so in the last class we have learned the importance of early childhood development, the important milestones of development, typical development of children between 1 to 12 months, the advice is for parents and caregivers to take care of children of 1 to 12 months, and finally the warning signs to watch for children of 1 to 12 months also. So with this background, we will go to the next topic, that is also a follow-up activity of this one, because all the above aspects will be covered in this lesson also for the age group of children between 2 and 8 years. Okay, let us move on to the today's topic. So what happens to the child at 2 years of age? A child should be able to walk, climb and run, and it should point to objects or pictures when they are named. Like if you ask the child at 2 years, show where is the nose, point your ears, it should do. Okay, it should try to identify and touch the body part. And the child should be able to say several words together and then follow simple instructions like bring some water, sit down, stand up, go there, come here, like that. If you are telling simple instructions, it should follow at this age. And every child at this age will be loving to scribble or trying to do some drawings. Okay, if you are giving a pen or pencil or crayons, every child will start scribbling on a paper or wall or any plain platforms. Okay, and the child should be able to enjoy simple stories and songs, and this is quite natural for a 2-year-old child to uh, enjoy the stories and listen to songs, and it will imitate the behavior of others. This is an important point, you please note it down, because at this age group imitation of others behavior starts here. Okay, this is a natural happening in order to learn new things from others doings. So every child at 2 years will start imitating others behavior in order to learn new behaviors. Okay, then it will the children will begin to eat by himself or herself. Okay, and what are the advices for parents and caregivers at this age group to take care of this age group children? We should be watching the children whether they are reading or singing, playing games with other children. This is an important thing, because at this age group, if you see children not playing with others, not enjoying songs or singing, uh, we should be careful to intervene the child with a doctor or any psychologist. Okay. At this age, we have to teach the children to avoid dangerous objects, because at this age group, children will be children will be trying to take any things they see, and they will try to bite it and taste it. Okay, it will be harmful to their health. So we need to teach them about this. And we have to talk to the child normally, and we should not use any baby talk. We should talk like an adult because the child is trying to imitate us so that it will learn how to communicate. Okay, how to speak also normally. Okay, and still we need to give nutritions, healthy nutritions to the child, so we can continue to breastfeed and ensure the child has enough food and a variety of family foods. Okay, then we should make sure the child is fully immunized. So we have to follow all the instructions given by the pediatrician or health officer, and we should make sure that all the immunizations are given to the child at this age. And we should encourage and not to force the child to eat. Encouraging is different, forcing is different. So, by way of telling politely, pleasantly, the child should be able to eat by herself or himself. And we should encourage and we should provide simple rules and set reasonable expectations. This is also important. Just like that, we cannot leave the child. We have to monitor them, what they are doing and all, right? And we should praise the child's achievement, provide reassurance when the child is afraid, and continue to give consistent affection every day. Praising the child will do wonders. So let us generously praise the child for their even little achievements. It will make the child grow fully. Then what are the warning signs at this age? Lack of response to others. If the child is not responding to others, it's a problem. Maybe a physical problem or maybe a behavioral issue. We should look into it. Difficulty keeping balance while walking. If the child is not keeping the body balance while walking, we should concentrate on injuries and unexplained changes in behavior, especially if the child has been cared for by others. If you are noticing any injuries, any unexplained or changes in the behavior, unexpected behaviors, we should be more careful what is happening to the child and check what is going wrong. And lack of appetite. The child is not at all interested in eating, and skipping breakfast, skipping lunch, or skipping supper, it will also affect the child's health and uh, mental development. So these are the important aspects that we can take it as warning signs for a developing child at 2 years. You understand all these points with importance. So let us jump on to the 3 year. See the nature of 3 year old girl. It will walk, run, climb, kick, and jump easily, and it recognize and identify common objects and pictures by pointing. Make sentences of 2 or 3 words. Say his or her name and age, name colors, understand numbers, use make believe object in play, feed herself or himself, express affection. And these are the typical nature of a 3 year old boy or girl. So, what are the advices for parents and caregivers? The child should read and look at books with the child and talk about the picture. If you see a 3 year old child in general, if the child is seeing some pictures or some books, it will explain it to the other child, tries to explain it to the other child. Okay. Tell the child stories and teach rhymes and songs. 3 years of age, you will be seeing the uh, increased development of language in a child. So to encourage language development and to create interest on speaking, singing, using a language, we should tell little stories and teach them beautiful, enjoyable rhymes and songs. Okay, we should give the child his or her own bowl or plate of food. We should continue to encourage the child to eat, giving the child as much as time she or he needs. We should not make the child hurry to eat or complete the food very fast, because that they're all children. They need proper time, enough and more time to eat the given food. Okay, and we should help the child learn to dress, use the toilet, and wash hands with soap. So these things. So keeping oneself clean and the environment. So even this is the simple thing we observe in everyone's life, that everyone's house, that if you are sitting for a supper, children will come and sit directly to eat without washing hands. This is a bad habit. So we should teach them before coming for taking food. We should wash our hands before sitting. Okay, and we should listen to and answer all the child's questions. Maybe we adults feel that responding to or answering to child's questions is a very tough task. Yes, it is really tough, but it is our this is our child. We need to take care of the child. So let us try to understand their simple or silly questions and try to answer to satisfy them, because they are step by step learning everything. And we should encourage creative play, building and drawing. And we should give the child simple tasks such as putting toys, putting toys in a safe or a shelf. It will build responsibility in a child while growing. Okay. And we should limit television watching and ensure that violent shows are not viewed, because this is the age of learning fastly. So, if the child is spending more time with the television, there are chances for a child to see violent acts, shows, like it will definitely create a negative attitude or negative behavior in a child. So, we need to limit television watching. Without parental control, we should not allow the child to watch TV and the mobile phone also. And we should acknowledge and encourage positive behavior and set clear limits. We should provide consistent affection every day. If available, enroll the child in an early learning or play activity, play school like thing. With this will encourage more activity, encourage the child to involve in more activity with other children, because during the early developmental period, if the child is given such opportunity, while growing up and becoming adults or adolescent period, it will not the child will not face much problem in moving with other children. Okay, we should encourage interacting with other children, the same age peer groups to play with. Okay, So what are the warning signs for this year, this period? Loss of interest in playing. If your child is not showing interest in playing, you should watch it. Frequent falling. While walking, the child is frequently falling. You should look into it. Difficulty manipulating small objects. This is also a matter of concern. Failure to understand simple messages. Inability to speak using several words. Little or no interest in food. These are the common issues found in the city dwellers. So the parents in city have to be very careful in watching all these small activities of children in order to ensure whether the child is growing properly or not. Okay, you got all these points? All right, let us jump on to the next period. That is about 5 years. What happens to the child at 5 years? Yeah, the child moves in a coordinated way. You see the difference in the previous stages and all. It just walks, jumps, or stand. But if you see this stage, move in a coordinated way. So the mobility or the movement of the child changes drastically in order to follow certain instruction, in order to avoid hurdles or harm on the way. Okay. Next, the child speak in sentences and use many different words. The child understand opposites. Okay, knowing opposites to the commonly used word is very important to understand many aspects of life. So this is the ability of the child at this age to understand opposites. And the child plays with other children happily. The child rests without help. The child answers simple questions. The child counts 5 to 10 objects. The child wash his or her own hands. So the following are the advice for parents and caregivers, those who are taking care of children with 5 years of age. The first thing we have to do is to listen to the children. This is the age for a child to express himself or herself. So for the past 4.5 years, the child would have learned many things, understood the environment, understood many behaviors and activities of others. So that at this age group, at this age, the child will be trying to express whatever he or she learned so far. So as adults, as parents, as caregivers, we need to spend a quality time to listen to them first to understand their development. Okay, and we have to interact frequently with the child, and we have to read and tell stories. This is a continuous process. Even at the age of adulthood, we will be loving to listen to stories. Why not children? They are fond of listening to stories, beautiful, um, beautiful stories, right? So, whenever we find time, a quality time, we have to read them or tell them beautiful stories. This will develop their imagination capacity, okay? Right. Then we have to encourage the child to play and explore and listen to and answer all the child's questions. And we have to maintain conversations also. And we should encourage creative play, building, and drawing. See, again, we have to limit television watching, and we should ensure that they are watching good good shows or good content on the television or mobile phone. And we should acknowledge and encourage positive behavior and set clear and consistent limits. We should provide consistent affection every day. And again, the child needs to actively engage with the peer group so that it is better to continue the play group or play school for the child. Okay. And what are the warning sign for this age group of 5-year old? Fear, anger, or violence when playing with other children, which could be signs of emotional problem or abuse. If the child is in fear, if the child is always in anger playing when playing with others, these are the warning signs, serious warning signs. So we should concentrate on these behaviors and listen to them or talk to them in order to overcome these things, negative aspects of development. Oh, right. We are growing little by little. Now we are reaching the 8th year. What happens to the child? In the 8th year, the physical development proceeds more gradually and steadily than in the early years. Muscle mass increases and small and large motor skills improve. Ability to understand and communicate abstract concepts and complex ideas has begun to develop. Span of attention increases, and the child can understand or foresee future and think what happened in the past and what is present. The child's learning capacity is expanding, so it will move from simple mental activities to complex mental activities such as problem solving, and and the child will try to explore the environment, home house environment and school environment, and tries to solve little problems. Friends and interactions with her or his peer group are increasingly important, and we should not stop the child interacting with other peers. Okay. Interest in friendship includes enjoying time with her or his peer group and turning to peers for information. So peer group interaction is very important, not only for playing but for learning also. Self control improves and understanding of more complex emotions increases. As we grow by year, not only the physical development but also we develop cognitively, that is mentally. So the and simultaneously we we develop our emotions, understanding emotions. Okay. What are the advices for parents and other caregivers? We should be a good role model equally for boys and girls. This is important because across the world, the gender discrimination is prominent. This leads to many problems. If we want to eradicate this kind of discrimination or suppression because of the gender, we should give or teach them from the beginning of developmental period. So we should not show inequality among boy children and girl children. Okay. And we should encourage children to express feelings and beliefs and to solve problems. And we should recognize and support child's strengths and skills as well as limitations. This is also important. We should spend quality time with the child to talk, to listen, and to discuss. Okay. And we should identify activities to do together. Okay. And we should facilitate and support child's playtime and with friends and extracurricular school activities. Acknowledge and encourage positive behavior and set clear and consistent limits. This is common for all the developmental periods. Show interest and become involved in your child's goal, like becoming a member of PTA, parent teacher association, or caregivers group, so that we will be closely monitoring what happens to the child in the school as well. So, what are the warning signs at this age group? Difficulties making and keeping friends and participating in group activities. If your child is not maintaining friendship for a long time, or not ready to, or not interested to play with others or peer groups, you should watch what is happening to the child. Avoiding a task or challenge without trying or showing signs of helplessness. We should encourage the child to be very sportive, and we should encourage them to attempt. Getting a victory is or success is not important, but attempting to the task, challenging to the task is very important. Trouble in communication, communicating needs, thoughts, and emotions. If the child is not able to communicate well about or communicate clearly about what the child needs or what the child feels and what the child thinks, we should concentrate on it, and we have to talk to the child closely and identify what is happening to the child wrongly. Okay. And focusing on task. If a child is having troubles in focusing on task and understanding concepts, we have to consult with their teachers or psychologist. And if the child is expressing aggression, shyness with friends when they are together, it is also again a problem. So these are the important aspects of development: physical, cognitive, emotional, and social, from 2 years to 8 years of development. So with this, let us conclude today's class by summarizing the important points. So today we have seen or discussed or learned the typical development of children between 2 to 8 years age. Advice for parents and caregivers to care children of 2 to 8 years, and the warning signs to watch for children of 2 to 8 years. So with this, we conclude this today's lesson. Hope you all understood and enjoyed the today's lecture. Please go through your reference books in the list given for more learning or more reading on the today's topic. Thank you everyone. Thank you for patient listening. All the best.